All right, good afternoon, everyone. This is Joe Henches. It's Sunday afternoon on December 1st, and we're going to talk about some key trades for the coming week, for the week of December 2nd. It's hard to believe it's December already. Let's go ahead and talk about two of them that we mentioned last week. We talked about Freeport-McMoRan, FCX, and Transocean Rig. Freeport, we kept looking for a way to get in and a buy signal to show up. We talked about this. Where was last Sunday? So we had, what, 4 days of trading? 1, 2, 3, 4. So back here, we kept thinking, okay, we're going to turn. We're going to get the blue line above the 20, the 10 above the 20, and break this trend line, and it didn't happen. So we didn't get any buy signal in here, and now we've rolled over. We've gone below this point here, which is negative. We've broken this trend line here, which is negative, and now this is starting to look a lot like these other corrective actions in here. Okay, so even though we broke this trend line, it's almost like that was a little bit of a fake out. At least that's starting to be the feeling I'm getting now. Even the black is the 50-day. This is the 200-day. So yeah, the 50 days crossed the 200-day, and you think, well, wow, but long-term, buy signal kind of thing. Well, guess what? It did it over here too. So that doesn't necessarily guarantee anything. It's breaking this trend line, which I thought, and who knows, I may pull back to this trend line. I mean, if you look at this and extend it to the right, it may just pull back down into here and then turn and go. But right now, we've got, if right now it looks negative. So if anything, we're below the 50, I'd be looking for a pullback to the 10 or above the 10, and then a chance to play it to the downside again. So that's my thoughts on this right now. Don't really have a specific. We got to wait and see what it tells us. So let's take a look at Transocean Rig. Now, same thing on Rig. I think we thought that we were going to get a pop here, get going, but now we've got DI minus above DI plus. We've got the 10 crossing down below the 20. Instead of getting a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like we may have only had like an A, B, C correction type thing. And, we're seeing this cross here. Well, we saw a cross just like that right over here. And then what did it do? It just sold off, sold off, sold off. So right now, we're not getting a buy signal. Again, that's what I was waiting for. We didn't say, hey, jump in and buy anything last week. We said we had to wait till we got closes above the 10 and it started to go, but it didn't do any of that. So, this is kind of similar to Freeport in that we're going to wait to we get a pullback above here. If anything, it's going to be an opportunity to sell this thing now. But we got to just kind of watch to see how it plays out. And because the fact that the 10 is below the 20, it's looking kind of negative to me. Let's see. Let's look at Facebook, FB. Okay, FB, we've been waiting on a correction also, okay? We thought we had these three waves. Let's scan this back again, okay? We thought we had, this is the bottom back out here in 2012. We thought we had 1, 2, strong third wave, which is what you expect in a third wave, okay? And then a fourth wave correction. And because wave 2 was a zigzag, that's why I got ZZ here, because it was a zigzag type correction, we're expecting an opposite type of correction, which is a flat, which is this A, B, C type correction. And so we're expecting this to bottom, and it's kind of pulled up, and it may be trying to turn. I'd like to see it break this trend line here, but very low volume drop off. But again, that was the day before Thanksgiving and the half day after Thanksgiving. So it's hard to make a real judgment call on that. But the key point on Facebook here, I think, is you're not going to really get a strong move until you get the 10 above the 20, in my opinion. It doesn't guarantee anything, but nothing really strong happens without it. So, I mean, look, the blue is above the gray over here, okay? Then it's starting to build and starting to build, then it takes off. Well, the blue stays above the gray the whole time, okay? Well, we don't have the blue above the gray. If anything, it's looking negative right now. But the fact that I'm kind of looking for a correction to be completing, that's why I'm not looking to try to sell it. Let's see. Let's look at Solarcity. where is it? Here it is. Same kind of thing. This is similar to Facebook in that I was looking for a correction to end. We talked about this, I think, when was it? Wednesday night or Tuesday night, I guess it was. And then we got the pop. I thought we were down in the neighborhood where the correction ought to be ending within a point. And then we got the pretty good moves up in here. But again, I'd like to get this blue line above the gray line. And that's going to be a much better sign that, you know, this thing's turning and going again. And let's see, First Solar. Okay, we talked about this on Tuesday because we did a whole thing on solar stocks. Okay, First Solar, I did. Let's see, let me make sure here. I thought it was topping, and I did buy puts on Friday. It's broken this trend line. You know, this trend line up through here, it's broken that. We've gotten, you know, closes. I believe the 10 has crossed the. I'm looking at the data. It's started to cross. The 10s went below the 20 here, and it's below the 20 here. We're getting consecutive closes below the 10. This low was below this low, or this close was below this close. It's kind of a confirming close. That was at 59.37. Well, actually, it started here at 59.94. And I think that was right about where I got in, right over here. So we'll see if that pays out. My stop's going to be a close above the prior day high. So if I get a close above this high, I'm going to get out because it really shouldn't be doing that initially. It should be kind of rolling over and selling off if it's going to sell off. So let's take a look. The other one, Canadian Solar. And again, I talked about that on Tuesday. I think we're getting the same kind of thing. I think we've got a sell signal in here at Friday's close, which is 29.14. Okay, we're you know, we're getting these consecutive closes below the 10. We have DI minus is above DI plus, so, and we've got this divergence showing up. Okay, so bearish divergence that's showing up near this top here, which is what you expect in a fifth wave. You expect to see divergence in a fifth wave. Okay, that's what helps you tells you that the fifth wave is occurring, and the fact that we're getting this is a good sign. I think it's that this should start to roll over. And again, I would use a close either above the prior day high or prior 2-day high to exit if you're wrong. 7 HPQs, the last stock I wanted to take a look at today. This had made a big move. When was that? That was on the 27th. And that was right after earnings. I think they had great earnings the night before, had this big pop. Now we're getting bearish divergence, okay, on my indicators in here. Now, to me, that doesn't mean I would automatically sell this, but it's a sign that, okay, this doesn't seem real bullish, and that I'll be watching. Okay, we got this trend line in here, watching for this to roll over, and then watching for a break of the trend line. So that's something to put on your radar screen, I think. Remember, we had this big rising wedge, made some pretty good return on some puts that I bought right in here, and got out. I can't remember where it was, right back down in here. I should have just exited immediately right here, but anyway, that was a pretty nice little trade. And this has got the potential. Let me just convert this to weekly real quick. You're going to see some of the same stuff. This has got the potential to be a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder, you know, in here. I don't know that I necessarily trust that, but that is something I saw when I was looking at the weekly charts. But we need this to roll over and then come on, break on down. So that's about it for today. We'll see how the new week for December starts out, and we'll you guys have a great Monday and Tuesday, and we will talk to you Tuesday night. This has been Joe for Beyond the Chart. Talk to you then. Thanks for stopping by.